What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, it appears that undefeated, unified WBA, WBO, IBF, Ring Magazine, WBC franchise champion, lightweight superstar boxer, Teofimo Lopez has not been truthful with the fans and the boxing world. As legendary promoter, his promoter, top-ranked CEO, Bob Arum, he states that what Teofimo Lopez was saying about sending out contracts was completely untrue. Now we know undefeated WBC lightweight world champion superstar boxer Devin the Dream Haney and his dad, father, and trainer and manager, Bill Haney, said they hadn't received anything on the part of Teofimo Lopez. Now, Teofimo Lopez, he went on his social media and stated that he sent out a contract to Devin Haney and George Kambosos Jr., Australia undefeated mandatory challenger for Teofimo Lopez. Well, we got some more bad news. George Kambosos Jr., he comes out and he says, they never sent me nothing either. He says that Teofimo Lopez is completely making up stories. He said it's completely false. He never sent me anything. So now we have Bob Arum come out. He says that Teofimo Lopez is not even eligible to be able to send out any contract. Nobody, he says, in Teofimo Lopez's family. And now Devin Haney and Bill Haney, they both say they ain't receive anything. He didn't send anything to them. And now, to double down, George Kambosos Jr., the Australian fighter, he says he never received anything either. So Teofimo Lopez Jr. and his father, Teofimo Lopez Sr., was stating that they were sending out contracts to two guys, Devin Haney and George Kambosos Jr., and whoever accepted it first, that's who they were going to fight next. Well, it looks like Bob Arum has to do the footwork, and Bob Arum says nobody in Team Lopez has the authority to send out any contracts. All they have is to agree to what we send out and what comes back to us. That's the only part they play in this outside of, obviously, fighting in the ring. So, when Teofimo Lopez is stating that he's the clear A side, he's sending out offers, he's sending out numbers that he wants to return. He told Matchroom CEO and promoter, co-promoter with Devin Haney Promotions, Eddie Hearn, that he wanted $10 million. Bob Arum refused that and says, yeah, I saw that, but he can't make up numbers either. That's not in his authority. Now, he could suggest to us a number that he wants to receive, but at the end of the day, it's up to us to see how much money we could actually come up with. We know that Teofimo Lopez Sr., he was on a show in which he did with Devin Haney's father, trainer and manager, Bill Haney. And Bill Haney says, if we could come up with $4 million, would you accept that to Teofimo Lopez Sr.? And he says, yes, I told my son, Junior, that we'll fight you guys for $4 million. Well, when Bob Arum was asked about that, Bob Arum refused that. And he says, yeah, that sounds good, but I need Eddie Hearn to call me and to discuss and even validate that there's $4 million available for Teofimo Lopez. And since Eddie Hearn, who I speak to at least 3 times a week, hasn't even discussed the possibility of Teofimo Lopez and Devin Haney, then I don't know what Teofimo Lopez or Devin Haney and Bill Haney are talking about until Eddie Hearn himself contacts me. And now we know that his mandatory challenger is George Kambosos Jr., and the play is to face George Kambosos Jr., as Bob Arum stated. He wants to do it over in Australia because there's a venue there that's offering them up the fight, and they're claiming that they could have at least 50 to 60,000 fans in attendance if everything, clears up as far as this pandemic and social distancing. Right now, Australia is shut down. So George Kambosos Jr. is actually training here in Florida. So Bob Arum is stating that he would love to have that fight over there because they stand to make big money. They get to introduce Teofimo Lopez to a whole new demographic and a whole new fan base, and attempt to grow his brand, he would be the favorite. George Kambosos Jr. is a superstar in Australia. He's undefeated. So it's a great play on the part of Bob Arum and Teofimo Lopez because it's promotion, right? But the problem is, Bob Arum says that, well, due to social distancing, we don't know what's going to happen. So Bill Haney, father and trainer and manager of Devin Haney, he came on Barbershop Conversations with Fred and Bob Arum, and Bob Arum said, if you really truly want to make the fight happen, inform Eddie Hearn and have Eddie Hearn inform us, and then the three of us could sit down and we could do a Zoom meeting or whatever and try to get a deal done, because that fight has to be in play because they don't know what's going to happen with George Kambosos Jr. as far as having that fight in Australia, and it makes no sense. It doesn't make dollars to have that fight in the bubble in Las Vegas outside of the fact that George Kambosos Jr. is Teofimo Lopez's mandatory challenger. But as far as Teofimo Lopez moving as if he is in control, he and his dad, because you got to remember, Teofimo Lopez Sr., when he was on camera and talking to Eddie Hearn, and Eddie Hearn says, I could come up with the money. Are you guys going to be able to move freely like you guys are talking? You're talking a big game, but are you guys going to be able to freely move around like you guys are talking up? And you see Teofimo Lopez Sr. says, well, the man to talk to is not Bob Arum. It's to talk to me. I have the last say so. This is what Teofimo Lopez Sr. said, because he's the manager of Teofimo Lopez Jr. Well, that seems not to be true either, as Bob Arum says, no, the person with the last say so in this entire equation is me, Top Rank. We have to sign off on this. Todd DeBoff. So until we sign off on this and we agree, Teofimo Lopez Sr., Teofimo Lopez Jr., whatever they say, it's just smokescreen, is what Bob Arum had to say. He says it's all a matter of just wordplay. That's all this turns out to be. And as far as Teofimo Lopez moving as if he says that I'm the A side and I call the shots, well, that proves not to be true. Bob Arum says all of that chatter is he referenced it to conspiracy. He says it's a conspiracy theorist that they are in charge. He said they're not in charge. We have the last say so. We signed the contract. So he stated he sent George Kambosos a contract and he sent Devin Haney a contract. And guess what? That proves not to be true. Now, as far as in the ring, I believe that Teofimo Lopez would be successful against George Kambosos Jr. I think he rightfully so would be, the favorite to win the fight. George Kambosos Jr. is definitely a good fighter, but that's just what he is. He's not a great fighter. He's 19-0, 10 by way of knockout. He stands at 5'9.5", 68-inch arm reach, 27 years of age. Teofimo Lopez, hasn't had as many fights as George Kambosos, but he's definitely the better talent. This is no slight to George Kambosos Jr., but Teofimo Lopez just naturally has, he's just gifted. He's 16-0, 12 knockout, 12 by way of knockout, 5'8", 68.5-inch arm reach, 23 years old. So with that said, he's an inch shorter than George Kambosos, but he has longer arms. So, the world wants to see confirmation with who is actually undisputed at lightweight. Is it Devin Haney? Is it Teofimo Lopez? This is a huge fight. This is a fight where we have Devin Haney that holds the WBC regular title, and Teofimo Lopez holds the franchise title, and then the WBC, they came out and they stated, well, they're both the official champions. So there's clarification when you get Devin Haney and Teofimo Lopez. Definitely a 50-50 fight. Both of them have tons and tons of talent in the ring. I personally favor Devin Haney to win the fight. I think he's just a little bit more versatile. Now, Teofimo Lopez has come into his man strength, so he has quicker than Devin Haney. He's stronger than Devin Haney. He has more power than Devin Haney. But Devin Haney's a slicker boxer. So it's an interesting fight. as far as George Kambosos, he leaves himself open a lot. He makes a lot of mistakes on defense that Teofimo Lopez, I believe, will capitalize on. And I believe he'll stop George Kambosos within 6 rounds. When it comes to Devin Haney, I think Devin Haney will outbox Teofimo Lopez and get a split decision victory over Teofimo Lopez. But with Teofimo Lopez and Devin Haney, you get clarification as to who is truly the undisputed champion at 135, because they both have belts, and you bring them together, and it's clarification. Point blank and period. So let's see how this unfolds and plays out. That's all I got for y'all. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Drop a comment in the comment section. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. You haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notification. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shouts out to the entire LDBC. Shouts out to New Media. Shouts out to Black Media Row. Make sure you like and share these videos. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.